John, we were talking even before coming here, 1959, you played Kerry Minor in Killarney against Clare. You scored the goal. Really now, it was one of the best. You even said it yourself now, and you're a fairly humble man.
Yeah.
You said it was one of the best goals you ever scored,
Right.
and people have said to me to ask you about that goal because you sold it in from 50 yards. Talk to us about it.
That's right, I remember it was against Clare, and I picked up a ball maybe at the news. There was no stand there at that time, but at that side of the field, and I saw my way free in front. I sold it in from about centre of the field, kept going. They kept backing away, actually in the fringe of the square. I hit it a rasper, and I can see the net bulging. The roof of the net is not the back of it at all.
But you sold it in from 50 yards.
I did, yeah, and that was the best goal I think I ever scored.
We're going to the comment line. You can put on the ear winkers there you have, because there's a man in the line. Thorny, Sheehan, you're very welcome to Terrace Talk.
Thanks, Weeshie.
Well, now, I won't ask you what are your memories of these men, because by God, you have some.
Well, Thorny and Derry, how you get
Nice to hear you, Don.
Well, I'll always remember the day above in the Fitzgerald Stadium and East Kerry and the Mitchells. And, of course, we had you picked out as the danger man. Thorny, no, I'm speaking. And Derry Crowley was marking you the same day and was doing a great job. And I was behind the goals and I was shouting to Derry, stay with Thorny. And you turned back to me and you put up your hand and you said, I'll get one, don't you worry, I'll get one.
I remember that, Tony. I remember that well. I think you threw your coat up there and you left off a couple of four-net
And the next thing, of course, you got one chance and it was in the back of the net.
Right,
and, of course, I'm going mad behind the goals. But anyway, near the end of the game, I'll always think of it, you got one chance and Weeshie, and he's listening there, Weeshie brought off a miraculous save. And Weeshie's lying down on the ground and the ball goes out and it goes out for the 50. And you're standing over Weeshie and you said, Fogarty, you must have been sleeping in holy water all
That's right, Tony.
That's what you said.
That's right, Tony. That's it. Do you remember, Tony?
Well, I was thinking, and going back further, one day I was a Kerry selector. We were in Tralee, and I think it was Galway in the junior or the under 21, and the crowd were shouting, "Bring on Thorny, bring on Thorny." So anyway, I said to John Joe, who was with me, says I, "We'll bring on Thorny." Says I, we got on Thorny anyway, and then the first ball he got, of course he showed it to the Galway fella. He jinked and he went by him, back of the net, one goal, and the next thing he gets another chance, another goal, and the match is over. And Thorny, I think you're one of the greatest. Derry, I know Derry.
You're not saying nothing about me.
But I knew Thorny more. But I'll always remember this day, and correct me now, below the minor final in Cork against Cork one day, and I was a selector the same day. And I think there was Harry Burke, the two Sheas, and was it Jimmy Mahoney was in the corner? Another Borby man.
Damadan, I'd say, was it?
Was it? I thought it was Mahoney for the
We had Jimmy Manny here. He was centre field.
And he would blow at half-time and we'd been well beaten. And the next thing, Derry says to Thorny, "Thorny, you give it to me and give it back to me and I'll get a goal." And the next thing, up the field, 1 goal, 2 goals, and geez, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
He was so confident as young lad, so great. And you were marvellous players. I enjoyed you, and I enjoyed beating you, know.
I get all my prescriptions filled by you.
Tony? What you call Tony?
I don't know, lots of fellas ask me that, but I could never catch the ball because I was so small, but I used to be always watching the breakers, and I think at the Reardon and stuff, like you say, you're right, Tony, you're picking up every loose ball.
Somebody said, I'm sorry, Evan, somebody said to ask you, how many years were you running at under 12?
Oh, Joe Whister, my first cousin, used to always beat me, and he was older than me. Here, I was always come second to Joe, but I was underage, but Joe was overage by year. He'd under the 12s, and the under 14s, and the under 16s, but I was always second to Joe, and Joe was illegal because he was overage. I used to enjoy that great, like. I used to love having the crack and a bit of crack with the opposition and having hassle and like PJ McIntyre from Kinmare. He used to be always trying to nail me. I said, missed again. Also, Noel Ford, he's a sergeant here in Tralee.
Yeah.
Noel, you say, I'll nail you before the game is out. I said, Noel, you'll never catch me now, he said.
What about Betty Gallivan? Happy birthday, Betty, you're 60 years of age today. You were talking about him.
Betty, you know, he was so curious before that time in Waterford. Yeah. And I used to be backing Betty, Betty would be backing me at half, at corner forward. And if I got the ball maybe out in the wing, And I running in the soul and he was said, kick the friggin' thing, kick it.
John Thorny, was it always going to be the Mitchells? You were born in that neighbourhood. Was it ever going to be anybody else? And did you ever think that you'd go along and win 5 county championships in a row and one more later, which is 6, of course?
That's right. I didn't really. My idols at the time were Tiggy Line. That's the fellas I was watching, Tiggy Line. And Paddy Shea, that we put the hair stand on your head. And then actually beside in the dressing room, tugging off with Paddy, late Paddy. It was a fierce thrill altogether, like. With 19, all these fellas, like, they were older than me, not by a whole lot. Like, I'll be 60 this year, but Paddy might give me like 8 or 9 years, you know. And I was basically a young fella in short pad. In actual fact, I remember being in the sideline with my father in 1950, what was it? When Kerry beat Dublin.
Yeah, 55?
55. And I was playing in 65. So only 10 years later, how quick time flies.
It does, yeah.
Unreal, yeah.
Tony, turning back to you now again. What are your memories of those county finals? What comes to your mind? What won't you forget about? Did you ever play in a losing county final?
I didn't know.
No. What are your memories now winning those 6 county championships?
The 58, we won the minor championship in 58, and then there was 5 or 6 of us came after minor team. Seamus Roach, Johnny Kelleher, played in goals, myself, Harry Burke, about 6 came onto the senior team, and that made the nucleus of the Boherby team, because you had the 54 team, then the Teddy Dowd, Fred Lynch, there was a couple of more, but that made the Sheehies, that made the strong 59 team. Right. I think we beat, was it now Kerry or Dingle we beat in that, the first county championship?
He beat West Kerry in the minors in 58,
that's right,
12 points to 0.
59 then, so it was the seniors. And I think it was Sean Murphy I was marking. He destroyed me. He didn't give me a kick. I overran the first ball. It hopped in front of me, over my head, and he caught it, cleared it away. I went too eager for the second one. I went under my legs. I couldn't do nothing right in front of me.
You were nervous, I suppose.
I was a disaster.
Were you ever nervous?
I was nervous, all right. I was a disaster, but then I got cute and got. I was putting the other guys under pressure.
What are your memories of those games then? The scores you got 9 points in one final.
That was the sweetest county championship of all, Weeshie, the 69 one, because Mitchell were over the hill. We were after being beaten, and we had
66,
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and that was the sweetest one.
I didn't think it was
Look at the mighty team he had. Yeah. He had about 10 in the Kerry team, that I can mention. Where you had Gleeson, you had yourself, Thorny Sullivan, Tom Long. That was the best of all. Tom Long getting put off with Sean Hogue. That won the team. That won the match for us.
Tom has listened to you tonight.
I did, Tom, that's right. That was the best thing, Tom, that ever happened. That's why you with Sean Hogue. I think you hit the wrong man.
we established who was the oldest now, but we'll have to ask Derry because he's the best to answer this one. Who was the best? Between the two shares now.
It's a question I'll answer then. I think I was the best myself, to tell you the truth.
This question I'll put to the two of you lads. How important was basketball in relation to football?
I think...
What part did that play in both of your careers, intermingling the two games?
Well, if you look at the basketball, you played it yourself, Weeshie. If you look at the basketball there, we had basketball teams in Tralee. You had the Rebels, you had Colum Kills, you had the FCA. But if you look at out of the John Mitchell's club alone, you had Niall Sheehy, you had Brendan Gallivan, you had Buddy Grady, you had Dominic O'Donnell, all Boherby footballers here now. Then you come off to the FCA, like you had Edmund Stack, you had Barry Burris and Shawnee Burris and myself and Mick Morris, all playing with FCA, all still Mitchell's footballers. So I think it played a great part over the winter period, because it's a kind of a period like that, you'd be hanging off the bar counter a lot, like, you know, and the indoor facilities in the winter months, I think it sharpened up a fella really, and then you were all together as well. Like.
Did you find that, John?
I did. I found the same out with Colum Kills. I went against all the Mitchell's crowd because I had a different social. I used to hang around with the lads from Boherby in the basketball side. I was with Charlie Hanlon, Billy Leary, Johnny Keller was with us for a bit. But I had a different circle with the basketball, which was good too, because there was great rivalry when we'd be playing the Rebels or when we'd be playing any of the Mitchell's crowd. There was the Tannery. It was a great crack.
Well, we're going for a break because we've lots more to talk about for until 7 o'clock. But just before we go, our quiz for the night, and it's the 6th correct caller to Una, the 6th correct caller. Now, next Monday, Coláiste na Skellige meet Intermediate School Coláiste in the Munster College's final. What did I say? Take it away, Derry.